Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to another very special episode of Guapish. As always, I'm your host. I'm not Tanner. I'm Nico.
What the fuck? How?
I don't know. As always, I'm your host, Nico. And today I'm being joined by... God damn it. I'm dying here, dude.
You want to do a retake here? I'm leaving all this in.
And today I'm being joined by a special guest who's Waffle House handsome, Tanner.
That's right, guys. It's me, Nico. I love Wendy's.
And I'm also being joined by my boy twink male wife, Jackson.
I'm actually a boy dyke. Let's not get it fucking twisted here.
Dude, he's done for, dude. He can't do it.
Dude, I'm fucking dying right now.
Dude, give me your topic and Tanner I will do it. You can take this one off.
I can't do that. I can't just leave you guys all alone.
Dude, you're fucking dying.
Dude, you're not good.
Dude, I got this. Don't worry.
Okay.
Dude, about to be the worst fucking episode of all time. Just Nico coughing every 10 seconds.
Yeah. Tanner, you got this. I believe you'll do your best to edit it all out.
Oh, god damn it. Why do I... Fine.
And today, folks, we've got some pretty fun plans for you today.
Come on, fuck on, dude.
It's a bit, man. It's a bit.
The basic premise of this is going to be, I have a large list of various ways to describe an individual or like a thing that they may do, alright?
Mm-hmm.
And we are going to be determining which of us that most applies to.
Okay.
How does that sound, boys?
Dude, that sounds fun.
That sounds fucking rad.
Fantastic. I'm so happy to hear it.
We're forcibly including Dillyn in this, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
There are definitely
he's the
some
part
that
of
I
it.
feel like could apply to him. Now, obviously, these are all just like most likely. Doesn't mean they're absolutely true, but also these are 100% true about each of these individuals who we pick. So, starting off here, which of us is the most likely to leave comments on porn?
I guess I'll just shout out whoever my brain says first, and I'll go Jackson.
I think I have before, so yeah, me.
Why have you done that?
Oh, it's in like dojins where I think something's like funny. Like, there's one of them. I don't even remember the exact context. I'm definitely not going to fucking describe it, but basically my comment was something along the lines of, I'm glad he didn't fuck the child. Shit like that, you know?
That is so wild without context.
Yeah, I'm not going to give any context, unfortunately.
Well, I'm also going to go on Jackson here. I think that just fits.
Yeah, I have given enough evidence to support that claim.
Yeah. Alright. Which of us do you think is the most likely to get Nordic rune tattoos?
Oh, me.
Yeah, 100% Tanner.
Yeah, I also agree with Tanner.
It's shocking I don't have any already.
Yeah.
Do you have any tattoos? Do any of us have any tattoos?
No.
Tanner, would you get a tattoo?
I don't know. I've gone this long without getting any. I don't know. I think I'm starting to hit the age where, like, getting your first tattoo at 26 is fucking weird.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
It's never too late.
I think as long as it's meaningful to you, and it's not too late, you know. My mom turned like 50, I think, last year, and she was thinking about getting her first tattoo at that age.
Get a tramp stamp?
Potentially. I didn't really ask her.
My mom got a tattoo like a year or two ago, and it was unbelievably cringe.
It's just like a massive fucking Medusa face that's an entire sleeve of her arm.
Yeah, she got some Yakuza fucking dragon on her back. No, it was some stupid woman shit where it's like a fern with the word unbreakable or something on her wrist.
That sounds like about
Christ.
right.
Is that her first tattoo?
No, she has like a small flower on her foot that she got like as a young woman with her friend.
Guys, my mom has one tattoo and it's a tramp stamp.
Is it a good one?
I don't fucking know. It's like a flower, I think. I don't remember the specifics of it. I don't see it very often.
Guys, are our moms NPCs?
Yeah.
My mom's definitely turned into one a bit. She used to be much more of like her own person and character, but yeah, a lot more recently. I think it's just like an older thing. I think old people would turn into NPCs.
Yeah.
Their brain faculties go away and they lose agency.
Yeah, I interact with my mom and I'm just like, I feel like I could predict everything you've ever thought, you know?
That's gonna be us, man. It's gonna be fucking us in 30 years.
Perhaps.
We're just gonna slowly go down the rabbit hole. You're already losing your way, Tanner. Say la vie. All right, next one here. Has a humiliation fetish.
Dillyn.
I was gonna say, just fucking imagine the 5D chess move on his part if this entire time he's been playing us as fools.
Yeah, this entire time he's been getting his fucking rocks off at our expense.
Yeah.
He's just fucking jerking it every single episode.
I'd be fucking dumbfounded, frankly.
Alright, I'm surprised by how easy these have been so far.
These have all been pretty tailor-made.
Alright, let's go with, who would get plastic surgery?
Me.
My brain jumped to Nico.
Why is that?
I think you already kind of look like what are those weird looking billionaire guys who invented Facebook? The Winklevosses. Yeah, you kind of look like the Winklevosses already, and they got all plasticed up.
Oh, those are like crazy looking dudes?
Yeah.
That's so fucked up.
I can't believe that's how you see me.
That's so crazy.
Well, you look like a non-crazy version of them, you know?
Damn. Yeah, I agree with Jackson, I think. I think it would probably be him.
What would he even do?
A nose reduction.
Obviously, you gotta go with the bit, man.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Jackson, if you were to get plastic surgery, what would it be?
I don't fucking know. I don't really even know you can get plastic surgery for, like, what the extents of it are. I've been made fun of my nose for so long that I truly just don't fucking care about it anymore.
Yeah, you've accepted it at this point.
I certainly do have a lot of large features on my face. If anything, this is going to sound fucking stupid maybe, but maybe get my ears pinned. Because I feel like they stick out a good amount and makes me look pretty goofy. Especially with, like, hats. Like, I can't wear hats because it takes off all the top of, like, my hair, you know, my head's texture, and then my ears just stick out, like, an inch and a half from the side of my head, and I just look goofy as fuck.
Very funny.
Like, if I wear a hat, it has to cover my ears.
I'd get a second pair of eyebrows, like, slightly above my current ones.
Dude, get a unibrow. Get an implant in between them.
I'd get eyebrows attached, and they're in the shape of some kanji that means some bullshit on my forehead.
I'd probably go for a BBL, I think.
I'd get a BBL, but I'd have them inject the fat into my biceps.
I'd go for a BBL, but they'd tell me your butt is already Brazilian enough.
There you go. You'd go in for a BBL, and they'd just say, where would we be taking it from? Do you have to... Can you do BBLs with... I assume you can't do it with other people's fat, so, like, is there a required
you must be
amount?
Able to, right?
I don't know. Is fat like a blood transfusion where you have to have, like, a matching fat type or something?
I've got no idea. I'm gonna assume, like, your sign needs to be the same.
your star sign?
Yeah.
What if you can mix and match them? And we should start a BBL clinic, and we convince women that fat from women of different signs can, like, gift them different properties.
Oh, there you go.
We'll give you an Aries ass that'll allow you, and we'll sell it because, like, they think that different signs are compatible with different people. So we'll tell you, if we give you this Aries ass, you'll be able to attract that Sagittarius guy you like.
All right, let's see. The next one here. Who would be like to drink their own cum?
I mean, I've done it, so I guess me.
You drank it?
Not
just,
drank.
like,
I mean, I've tasted it. I'm using a bit looser of a definition.
Drink their own cum. I can't see any of us doing that, frankly. Well, actually, I'm gonna say Tanner, mostly just because I feel like some chick could con you into doing it. Maybe.
There you go.
I think anything degenerate would immediately just default to Tanner.
I think we'll find plenty of degenerate things that other people will be eligible for.
Not if Nico fucking catered this list well enough.
On an unrelated note, how about become trans?
I mean, my mind jumped to Dillyn. I just think he's insecure enough that he could be fooled into becoming trans.
I could see him being in the closet, but I don't think he'd go full-on trans.
You know what they say about people that are super homophobic and super...
exactly. He could be a Chris Chan scenario.
I don't know. I don't think any of us truly are.
I could see myself being the most likely, though.
I could see, I could see you getting conned by a girl into becoming trans.
She sissifies me.
Your girlfriend, you're dating her for like 4 years, and she wants to break up with you because she's actually a lesbian, and you become trans to sate her.
Yeah.
I could see Jackson doing it as a bit.
That'd be a fucked up bit.
No one else would find it funny either, only you.
Yeah,
Like,
I'd
no,
be
guys,
cracking
don't you
up.
get it? I'm fucking taking estrogen pills.
That shit's fucking hilarious, right? Dude, get hell.
Alright, how about this one here that's definitely not targeted towards anyone? Buy a mail-order bride.
I mean, this one's definitely targeted towards me. I don't think I'd ever do that, though, mostly just because I'm very content with my position. I could see that changing, though.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm 40 and I haven't had a girlfriend since high school, then I could maybe see myself going that route.
I'm going Nico. I think he has the least, like, ethical restrictions on his behavior. And also sees foreign women as a product.
That's fucked up, dude. But to be honest, I could definitely foresee me, if my life goes downhill, I could absolutely see myself going with that direction.
What country would you buy her from?
Man, I don't think it matters too much, right? Like somewhere from Southeast Asia.
Okay.
I feel like I could see any of us doing this except for Tanner. I don't think Tanner would go that route. I could see Dillyn, though. Mostly just because of his, I guess, lack of interest, maybe. And then he's going to get farther down in life where the dating pool is just like, it's exponentially worse the older we get. And then he's like, oh, fuck. I've got buddies that did this.
Is your reasoning behind only not saying me doing it is because, like, you just associate me with being broke?
No. Mostly, I think it's just because you feel like in my perception of you, you just have a much easier time of finding a relationship.
Fair enough.
Speaking of going broke, though, how about lose all their money in a rug pull?
Dillyn.
Yeah, Dillyn.
I could see him getting baited into some fucking crypto bullshit by one of his fucking pyramid scheme buddies and then losing it all.
I think Dillon's the easy answer here, but I think I'm actually going to go Tanner. Quite frankly, I'm shocked you didn't lose all your money in the Trump rug pull.
Yeah, I agree Dillon's the easy answer. I was trying to think of how it would happen to me. And the thing is, like, nowadays, yeah, rug pulls are like fucking crypto scans, and I'm just not interested in crypto at all for that very reason.
Yeah, I was very connected to the crypto space myself for quite some time, and yeah, I have no interest in ever getting back into that game. It's honestly all just like a fucking big Ponzi scheme.
Have you guys seen that one video of that dude who just throws like $16,000 into some random fucking shitcoin and just like does a live reaction to like see, oh, how's he gonna react when his money like goes up or down, and it just instantly tanks and he loses everything?
It's pretty
It'd
good.
be like that, dude.
I remember who was it? It was fucking that streamer XQC. Didn't he bet like $250,000 on Kamala Harris winning?
Potentially, I'm not sure.
Anyway, I'm glad my dad texts me like once a month being like, hey, you sure you don't want to get in on crypto? I think it's really going places.
Oh my god.
I know, right?
I mean, he's not entirely wrong. Crypto has been going up a lot since the Trump presidency.
I just don't trust it, man. He's constantly texting me like affiliate links for like Coinbase or whatever the fuck.
That's funny. The fucking people in my my GTR group, they're constantly talking about that shit as well. Like, there's like this one guy that is just 24/7 shilling it. Like, he's like, yeah, fucking, it's a great time to buy Bitcoin. It's going to double in the next couple of years. I'm like, no, it's fucking not, man. I'm not going to fucking buy into this bullshit.
Gen X men have fallen into crypto so hard, dude.
Yeah, there's a couple other guys too that are all fucking like, yeah, man, Tesla's on a fucking fire sale right now. It's just definitely going to triple in price. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Dude, speaking of which, how's my Doge looking right now?
Terrible.
It's been doing bad, unfortunately. I'm very sad about that. Oh, look, it went up by like $10. That's nice.
Whoa.
Not like the coin
Hell
itself, just like what I have.
Mm-hmm.
There you go, dude.
Yeah, if it went up by $10, you'd be a millionaire. I don't want to look at my GameStop stock options. I don't think they'd be very good. Thankfully, I've already sold all of mine, mostly. I've got like, I think 2 stock left.
Alright, Who do you think is most likely to go to jail?
Me.
Why you?
I'm definitely getting a fucking felony for going 150 miles an hour down a highway or some dumb shit.
That's true.
Something definitely based around reckless driving.
Yeah, I could certainly foresee that.
I suppose the odds of Jackson catching, like, a reckless driving charge are probably higher than me ever, like, getting into a physical altercation with someone or something.
Like, let's give me some context here. I'm speeding basically every time I'm in my car. I go like 100 miles almost every time, or 100 miles an hour almost every time I'm in my fucking GTR.
Yeah, I think it would probably be Jackson as well here. Alright, how about join a cult?
Dillon's already in one, so that one, he's cross off there.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it'd most likely be Dillyn as well.
The thing is, we're all men, so, like...
Yeah, I think...
Plenty of men join cults, too.
No, the big question here is which one of our wives would get sucked into a cult and then us get roped into it by, association.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it always happens.
Yeah, so I'm going to be single all my life, so it's alright if you guys duke it out.
I don't know. My girlfriend doesn't really strike me as someone who can fall for a cult.
I think the big thing at least is even if they fall for it, they have to be trusting enough in you to want to, trust your opinion over the people trying to get her to join.
Yeah.
Alrighty. How about try psychedelics? Tanner, have you tried psychedelics before?
No, I haven't.
That's kind of shocking, honestly.
I do kind of lean towards me. I've been around psychedelics, but I even was like, hey, can I try one? And then they told me, nah.
That's pretty fun. Alright, sounds like Tanner it is then.
There you go. The thing is, I'm just like, on one hand, I'm very much like, I'm pretty sure the machine elves are just demons. And so you probably shouldn't open your mind up to that. But on the other hand, I'm like, I bet I could beat that shit, though.
All I'm saying is Nico's got a track record of doing drugs with women, and I feel like this is an easy transition here.
He doesn't strike me as someone who dates psychedelic chicks, though.
Dude, he strikes me as that. He'd go out there and make Minimans waiter.
I think I'm also leaning towards Tanner here as well. Alright, how about call their partner mommy in bed?
Nico.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. I think it's Jackson, personally.
No, definitely not. If anything, I lean more towards the fucking S side of it, so it'd be like the opposite. I want them calling my fucking shit daddy. Honestly, I'm switching my answer. I think it might be Dillyn.
Yeah.
I don't imagine Dillyn, having sex at all is the thing.
No, man, let's not be that fucking mean here.
Jesus.
I could see him being a pretty hard M here, to be honest.
Sure, I'll switch it over to Dillyn. Why not? I could see that as well.
You're only switching it over so that's not you.
I mean, it wouldn't be me anyway. It's just like a fucking... It all cancels each other out if I don't switch over. Alright, how about get into sounding?
What the fuck is sounding again? That's not the show you put something in your urethra.
Your pee hole.
Oh, it is that. Okay, I'm getting that. What the fuck is jelking? I think I'm getting those two mixed up.
That's when you pull on the dick to make it longer or something. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't particularly see any of us as getting into sounding.
Yeah, I don't
even know. I don't have like a stereotype in my head of what the kind of person who is into that is.
Freaks. It just sounds painful, and I'm very anti-pain. I would never even want to attempt that, let alone get into it.
Maybe it's only people with like really large urethras.
Maybe somebody that has like pissing problems, right? They like it's hard for them to pee, so they try it out to like as a therapeutic thing, and then they just get into it.
I wonder how much the size of urethras like can differ.
Do you think there are women who are really into men with large urethras?
I hope so.
Unless you blow a fatter load on them or something, I don't fucking know.
The problem is the pressure wouldn't be as high.
True. It's like you just fucking blast them with the fucking spray nozzle.
Yeah, it's like slowly emptying a Go-Gurt tube.
For some reason, my mind screams Jackson on this one.
I feel like we're all pretty equally unlikely.
Yeah, I agree.
Alright, speaking of blasting ropes, who would take pills to let them shoot more ropes?
Me.
Yeah, Tanner.
Yeah, I could see it being Tanner as well.
I've never tried like a gas station pill before, have you guys?
No, I don't have sex.
No.
True.
Yeah, I definitely imagined for you, Tanner, it's like, well, you know, obviously the pills that make your dick bigger don't work, but, like, probably the ones that make you shoot more do.
That makes sense to me, dude. Mm-hmm. What's funny is, I don't remember who I heard this from on some podcast, but they were like, yeah, you know, the gas station pills actually work. The companies just constantly have to change the name of their product because the FDA keeps catching up to them, and they're selling, like, pharmaceutical grade Viagra in public.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Alright, which of us do you think is the most entrenched in the black community?
I mean, that's a good question. Because, like, on one hand, Nico objectively absorbs more, like, black media, I suppose you could say. But my girlfriend's black.
Dude, my sisters are black.
Yeah, well,
Dylan's
yeah,
black.
half.
I'm friends with a black guy.
Yeah, I feel like we all have a decent stake in this one.
Let's
There
not
you go.
count me in here on that shenanigans. Yeah, I don't fucking know. I think it's a toss-up between you three.
I mean, I don't think Dylan's in the conversation at all, to be honest.
I mean, he's got like a very black-white family.
Does he?
Tanner, is your girlfriend like a white-black chick, or is she like a black-black chick?
The thing is, she's rural black, so like she is like black, but not like black, you know?
I get what you're saying in a very roundabout way.
Yeah, like she could honky tonk on that conky dong.
Sure. I think we did that this morning, in fact.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna lock in myself here.
Sure, I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
We'll give
fuck
you the title of number one wigger.
Thank God, it's all I ever wanted. Alright, which of us do you think would post their feet pics online?
Maybe I
Nico.
could see any of us doing this, like, as a
You
bit.
can see any of as a,
Yeah.
as a bit. I was gonna be like, what the fuck
I
are you
don't
talking
think
about?
I don't think any of us would do it expecting to make any money or anything. Perish the thought.
I'm saying Nico. I think in a dark time he starts an OnlyFans.
Dude, I could see it. Yeah, you know what? I'll go myself as well here.
There you go.
It just makes sense.
Alright, which of us would get pegged?
Nico.
I disagree, man. I think this one goes to Dillyn.
Nah.
I don't know. It's really hard to get a read on what type of shit he'd be into in bed. I feel like pegging is like so far off his realm, but also I could see his self-confidence being low enough to just agree to whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
I disagree. I have a feeling Dylan's one of those people who's just really weird about his butt. Like, he doesn't wipe or anything either.
Dylan's not gonna like the fucking this episode.
I hope he doesn't hear this one.
He's gonna quit the fucking podcast after he listens to this shit.
I can already see the comment now. Wow, guys, I can't believe you would say this stuff behind my back.
You have such a negative view of me.
I'm gonna be completely for real with you guys. If a chick I was dating wanted to try pegging, I don't think I'd be opposed to it. I wouldn't be, unless, you know, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna fucking do it all the time, but I'd try it out. Why not?
Holy smokes.
As long as the dick is smaller than mine, I don't want to be
Exactly.
insecure about my size while I'm getting it fucked in the ass.
Exactly.
Yeah. You're not alone in that, though, Jackson. Blake has also said the same thing.
And he's fucking so real for that, man. I love Blake. We should have had him on this episode.
Oh, we should have.
Have an external perspective.
Alright, which of us would be most likely to go on an alpha male retreat?
Tanner.
That's tough. I'm definitely the most, like...
I don't think any of us give a shit about it.
Yeah, I'm the most invested in, like, my masculinity out of the four of us, but Dylan's the most likely to get scammed.
That's what I was thinking too. I had the exact same thought process here, where like I could 100% see one of his pyramid scheme friends being like, hey, there's this cool retreat I'm going on. I think you should sign up too. It's going to be really sweet.
Yeah. I just don't see me signing up to hang out with a bunch of strangers regardless of the context.
I've seen clips of those, and they all just look fucking terrible. I don't know why you'd ever subject yourself to paying to just get abused physically and mentally for like a couple of weeks. It sounds terrible.
Yeah. It's to toughen you up, man. This world has made you soft.
I'm fine with being soft. Being soft's pretty kind of fucking sick, to be honest.
Alright, speaking of being soft, how about buy an exotic pet?
Well, I definitely am planning on getting a chinchilla at some point, but
Is that really that exotic, though?
I mean, they're literally classified as an exotic pet. Like, you have to take
but like,
them
what
to
the
like
fuck does the government know about exotic pets?
I mean, you have to take them to like specific veterinary offices. That's kind of where I draw the line. Is like, can you take them to a regular vet and they'll be able to work on them, or if they're going to tell you to go to some fucking specific place?
See, my counter argument is you can buy them in a PetSmart.
You can buy them in a PetSmart. Every time I go to PetSmart, I take pictures of them because I think they're cute.
I think I agree Jackson is the most likely.
I want to get myself a liger. I want to get like I want to live in one of those Japanese houses where there's a little outdoor area in the middle of it. Like the house is like a fucking square with a like garden in the middle of it, and I just have my liger out there chilling.
There you go.
Yeah, going on Jackson with that one. Why not? Okay, have a hot wife fetish.
Oh.
What the fuck does this even mean?
It's basically
wife
just
fetish?
cuckoldry, but you're doing it because you're like, my wife is so fucking hot. I want to like share her with other people so they understand how hot she is.
Yeah.
That's fucking terrible. None of us, please move on.
I don't think
Next.
any of us are going to marry a woman attractive enough for us to even get into that kind of
And
thing.
I also don't think any of us are gonna become cucks. I find the idea of like NTR cuckoldry just fucking so foul.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty rough. I'm personally not a huge fan. All right, how about who do you think is the most likely to marry someone way out of their league?
Me, I'm funny.
Then, actually, I think it might. Well, fuck. But the track record.
The track record? Wait, who the fuck are you talking about here? I feel like I have an idea. My strategy, right, is I'm gonna fucking date some baddie fucking Southeast Asian chick because she thinks I'm rich and I'm some average looking white guy. It's a match made in heaven.
See, here's the thing. I think Jackson is overall the least likely to get married.
Facts. But if it happens, you know, it'll be because I found the one.
Right. I
You
guess...
know, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I think Dillyn is very likely to marry some absolute bombshell of a single mom.
I think that's very possible. The thing is, I think Dillyn has the personality you would expect of a guy that manages to attract a woman who's way hotter than him. But he simply does not have the self-confidence necessary to pull it off.
Dude, I could 100% see Dillyn going through with it. I think that Dillyn will 100% be the guy who wears the shirt that says, I'm not a stepdad, I'm the dad who stepped up.
Damn. Do you guys
And
think...
the best part is he won't even get the joke.
What would you guys think if Dillyn got married before either of you?
Good for him.
I'd be surprised. I'd be like, whoa, how long have you been seeing this woman?
Doesn't matter. You still got her done.
Are you getting scammed or something? Is she like trying to get a green card? Why so suddenly?
Doesn't matter. He got her done.
Who do you think would be the most likely to ask their partner to wear a clown costume during sex?
I think we're all equally likely.
Equally likely, I think Nico's the standout here. He likes Pomni. It only makes sense.
I am a big fan of Pomni, that's true.
Exactly.
Alright, yeah, I'll go in on myself as well. Why not? Alright, who do you think would get cryogenically frozen?
I'm saying me personally. If the technology ever gets around to letting people do that, because obviously right now it just doesn't make any fucking sense. If we do find some way of actually making that happen, I'd say yes, probably just because I'm so scared of death. I could see myself wanting to do that to like go to the future where maybe that's not an issue anymore.
Yeah, honestly, I'm voting for myself as well.
Hell yeah.
I think I'm gonna be voting for Jackson here.
Damn, I'll never get frozen now.
I think I can just foresee him having the urge to live longer than any of us.
Dude, I'm on the record saying my goal is to live to 101.
But do you think you're actually gonna make it, man? Come on.
Sure, why not? Now that Bobby Kennedy is getting rid of the vaccines, we're going to be living forever, guys.
Alright, which of us do you think is the throat goat?
Me.
Yeah, definitely not me. I can barely brush my own fucking teeth without gagging.
Yeah, same here. I got a narrow throat as well, so like, you know that shit'll be tight, but I also have a terrible gag reflex.
I've genuinely said the phrase, I'd be a terrible gay, so many times just because of my gag reflex kicking in so early.
Yeah.
Is that something you, like, train out, or does everybody just have a crazy gag reflex and just, like, gets better over time the more dick you suck?
I believe it is something you can train yourself for.
Okay. This is valuable information. Thank you, Tanner.
Alright, which of us do you think would climb Mount Everest?
I don't know, man.
The achievement of climbing Mount Everest is very little nowadays if you just spend enough money.
Yeah.
So I'm not really interested in that regard. So I definitely not me. I've got no interest. I don't really think any of us would. I could see Nico. I could see some. I say this about a lot of these hypotheticals, but I could see you getting roped in by your wife or some shit.
I would try and talk my wife out of it. However, I could absolutely see myself having like a midlife crisis at some point and thinking, man, I just haven't done anything with my life. I need to do something big. I need to like climb Mount Everest or something. But at the same time, like, I've seen all the stats for Mount Everest. I've seen the pictures of like what's actually like up at the summit and stuff like that. And it just doesn't sound like it's for me. It doesn't sound like the truly magical experience I would imagine it to be.
Yeah, you're more of a K2 guy, right?
Yeah.
I just want something on my LinkedIn resume.
Could you just put that absent? Would they check that though? Like if you put climb Mount Everest on your resume, would they bother fact checking you there?
Yeah, there's some database you can talk to the Sherpas about and they'll give you the information.
Dude, that's actually a pretty good idea. Just throwing that on there, that immediately makes you stand out. And like, how the fuck are they going to verify?
Right.
He's like, yeah, I didn't take any pictures. It was pretty cloudy up there when I did it, but you know.
Visited the International Space Station.
Yeah, I was there for business.
You know what? I'll just go ahead and say Dillyn. Why not?
Okay.
I think he could do it. All right, which of us do you think would have kids first?
Me.
I'd be shocked if it wasn't Tanner.
I'd be shocked if you weren't currently trying.
Dude, she keeps getting these birth control shots.
And I just don't know what to do about it.
Yeah, I'm trying to work around it, but it's so strong. I'm trying to be that 2% not effective.
Yeah.
She has told me she will not allow me to get her pregnant until I marry her, so that's where I'm at.
Okay.
Dude, I love her for that, honestly. Set those fucking boundaries, girl. Go queen.
Yeah. When are you marrying her, Tanner? Have you bought the ring yet?
The ring is the thing that's holding me up, honestly, because I'm just like, I want to get her a nice one, but that, that'll take me a while to be able to save up to.
You should ask your mom for hers or something.
That'd be so crazy.
I don't think her mom has one, actually. Her parents were never married. Oh, my mom. Why would I give her my mom's ring?
I feel like that's a pretty normal thing. You'll hear about people like giving their girlfriend like their grandmother's wedding ring or whatever the fuck.
Maybe.
I feel like your girlfriend should know about your financial, like both of your guys' financial situation enough to realize, not how futile that is, but like...
Well, no, I'm not saying... Listen, I'm sure if I asked her, she'd be like, yeah, get me some $70 piece of shit ring and we'll do it. It's purely my own hang up about like, I don't know, wanting to prove my worth or something.
Bro fell for the fucking diamond scam. Rest in peace.
It's male brain bullshit.
Would you get a real diamond, Tanner?
No, I don't really care.
Okay, there you go.
I'd tell her it's real, but I don't really care.
I mean, she can never tell.
I feel like if I actually tried to ask my mom, hey mom, can I have your engagement ring and like give it to my girlfriend? My mom would like reveal that like fucking 10 years ago she like casted it into a lake when she resolutely decided to divorce my dad or something.
Yeah. That's how she knew that it was real and she was going through with it. Alright, which of us do you think would buy a house first, though?
Jackson.
Buying a house is certainly a pretty big thing on my hit list. But also, like, I'm fucking broke and houses are so expensive. I'm gonna go and say Nico, because his girlfriend's got some pretty high earning potential. He doesn't make daily changed himself and is also pretty financially responsible. So I could see them buying a house pretty soon after they got married or something.
I'm going Jackson just because, like, A, you are interested in having a house. B, you're almost certainly going to be the first one of us in a financial position to get a house. And C, you aren't married to living in Oregon.
True. Honestly, if I sold all my shit and moved to Texas, I could probably just buy a house right now. But I don't want to do that because that sounds fucking terrible.
Yeah, I think that it would probably be me as well, just for the same reasons Jackson stated. I think that by having single income, it'll drastically reduce his likelihood of, like, people wanting to give him the money for the loan and everything.
Yeah, having dual income's a fucking cheat code.
Yeah. Maybe you should just get that mail order bride. Maybe that'd help things a lot.
That's not going to help me at all. They're not going to make any fucking money. I'm going to be completely supporting them.
Dude, they can be an interpreter for other mail order brides.
Yeah, I'm going to fucking get them and then get killed by the Chinese mafia like a year later or some shit. After they get their green card.
Alright, which of us do you think has the highest gooning streak?
This is such a toss-up. It could be any of us, frankly.
See, here's... Actually, you're right. It is kind of a toss-up. Because on one hand, I think Jackson and I are probably the biggest gooners. On the other hand, Nico is on the record of having difficulty coming.
Dude, I've fucking gooned before. I trained myself back in high school in the multiple male orgasm. I read websites on how to do it, and I did it several times. And I realized, man, this shit fucking sucks. I don't like it. I just want to come.
Yeah, it's not... It's actually not all it's cracked up to be.
Yeah, it's definitely not.
Maybe this is just a skill issue and I just need to work on my gooning, but I've gone it long enough where it just starts to fucking hurt, and then I've got to bust, or else it's just as fucking painful.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Tanner, why not?
I'm a primetime edger, so yeah, I'd go with me as well.
Well, there we go then. Alright, got one more here. It's the big one. Are you ready, boys?
No.
Who do you think
even
is in the closet?
I mean, it's Dillyn, but you know.
Yeah, I think it's Dillyn.
Yeah, probably.
What the fuck are you guys talking about?
See, the problem though is it could totally be me too, because like I literally jack off to dudes fucking, so like I think I just need to take the fucking the nosedive there and just see what it's all about, right?
Yeah, it's kind of tough. It's either Dillyn and he's repressed, or it's Jackson and he's an idiot.
I think he could just be curious.
There you go.
In fairness to me, the dudes fucking I'm looking at is entirely just like fucking like the most feminine men possible. Like they're just women with dicks, basically. Mm-hmm. So does it even count?
Dude, I hate it in futanari porn where, like, both of the women have dicks. It's like, come on. Why didn't you just go with one of them? Did it have to be both?
Where's the fun in that?
Well, boys, there we have it. Congratulations. We got through all of the fucking things. Tanner, I hope that you were taking all those down so you can now read back for us what each of us are qualified as.
And we can add this to the profiles on the website.
Yeah.
There we go. It's like end of the year yearbook awards.
Yeah.
Biggest gooner, most likely to get scammed.
If high schools were funny, they'd let their yearbook kids put that kind of shit in there.
Alas.
From what I've heard, they used to let people do some pretty mean shit. But then the wokies came in.
Mm-hmm. Now it's just shit like, most likely to Skibbity Rizzler.
And speaking of Skibbity Rizzler, I can't wait to get our Skibbity Riz on over on Guapish at the Movies.
Guapish at the Movies?
Jackson, what did we watch this week?
We watched the Patreon pick, which was the 1996 film Fargo, as requested by our lovely patron Blake. Thank you for the request. And if you also want to get your movie picked and added to our queue, then you can go to guapish.com/Patreon, sign up for $1 a month, and get your movie in the queue once a month. And this movie, of course, is about a real story of this dude who is in an insane amount of debt, presumably from nefarious deeds at his car dealership. So he arranges his wife getting kidnapped for ransom, and then we basically just follow the misadventures of him, the people that are doing the kidnapping, and also a cop who's trying to solve the case.
Dude, fun fact, it's not based on a true story.
Yeah.
They just fucking lied to us.
That's so messed up, man. I totally believe them.
I did too, until I was reading the fun facts, and I was like, yeah, that's bullshit. Second fun fact, the script was so meticulously written that shit like stuttering and what filler words characters were used were all scripted out.
That's very fun. Yeah, apparently, like, as far as the based on a real story goes, is they had, like, heard of, like, some guy murdering his wife and cutting her up in a wood chipper, and, like, that was it. Yeah.
Well, close enough. It had those elements.
Sure did.
So, Dillyn is currently at a C+ on this movie.
Yeah, he stated more like Fargo.
Yeah, he said that verbatim, actually. Personally, I am sitting at an A- right now.
Okay. I'm at an A+.
I'm at a flat A.
I'm so fucking shocked that I'm the lowest of you three. That's crazy. Anyways, yeah, I think this movie is a fun time. I think the acting is very well done for the most part. Don't really have any major qualms with it. I like the structure. It's very creative, where it has like the chaotic side of the ne'er-do-wells, you know, and then you cut over to like some chick beating at a fucking restaurant. It's the most casual thing ever.
She's
pretty
always
funny.
eating. In every scene she's in, she's consuming something.
She's a hungry pregnant woman. It only makes sense. Yeah, I think it's just a fun, well-made movie. I don't really have a crazy amount to say about it. I just think it's a good time.
Yeah, it's definitely very fun, super charming. I do love, much like Jackson said, how just juxtaposed the film is, where it'll be cutting between, like, these horrible, fucked up situations that this wife is being put through as she's getting, like, kidnapped and people are getting shot. And meanwhile, this pregnant police officer is just like, oh, doo-doo-doo, I'm from Wisconsin. I'm gonna talk to this Asian man now. Ooh, I'm gonna talk to a car salesman. Isn't this fun? I'm having a good day as a cop today. And just a lot of the performances are also phenomenal. Just the accents are great. I'm a big fan of them. They add a slight air of whimsy to this overall dark story.
True.
Yeah. As well as just like the cinematography in general for this film is really stellar too.
Yeah, it does a lot with a very boring setting, honestly. It really does make you feel like you're in the middle of fucking nowhere. And they play with it a lot too. A lot of creativity went into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree a lot with what you guys have been saying. You know, it's a very funny movie. It's pretty thrilling. There's some shocking scenes in here. The characters are the major draw. Just all of them are very entertaining, and they just do a good job of being like, yeah, that's a real person. My biggest complaint is just that, like, I feel like it's kind of setting itself up as like, oh, like a crime mystery thing, but then it kind of, just based on the ending, it kind of just winds up being way more straightforward than anything, just because the cop woman doesn't really figure out what happened. She just kind of stumbles upon the end result of everything and then stops it, you know?
Yeah, she got pretty lucky when she went back to that dealership with the link with the car there, and the guy that's fucking running away. That was immediately just like, okay.
Yeah.
I think that might just be due to the way in which, like, the events play out, though, because everything does just kind of fall in on itself, the way the fucking two robbers end up, like, playing things out, because the reason that she ends up seeing, like, that car and, like, catching them is because that one dude was just too greedy and was like, fuck you, I'm gonna fucking murder you now because I want half of the car and all that shit.
Yeah.
Whereas had he not done that, then both of them would have gotten away scot-free, most likely.
Which is crazy he did that, because he already had, like, another absurd amount of money in a fucking suitcase. Like, he's just insanely greedy. That goes back to the characters. The characters in this movie are fantastic. They're all very consistent in what they're trying to do, and they're portrayed very well through acting. I think, honestly, a standout one for me is just the silent guy that is one of the other kidnappers. I think he does a really good job. He's very consistent in how he acts, and him killing his buddy at the end is so consistent with his character, because he's just so impulsive, so I don't know, he seems very lost with what he's trying to do with his life. And because of that, he just kind of takes things out on people. And I think his characterization is really good. And that kind of just goes into everybody else too, with, the really stubborn stepdad, the wife, even though she's not really a crazy big character, the cop, big fan.
Yeah, he almost feels like a proto Anton Chigurh.
Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah, I could see it too, if he didn't get shot trying to fucking run away.
Alrighty, boys, is that all we have to say about Fargo?
Yeah, I think it's a good time. I don't have nothing really crazy to say. I'd say probably my biggest issue is just like with the cutbacks to the cop chick. It really does take a little bit of the wind out of the sails of the movie and makes it not like, I still think it's a pretty engaging movie throughout most of it, but it certainly drags a little bit in some scenes. Like I think the biggest standout one for me is just that dinner scene with the Chinese guy. Like, basically nothing of value happens in that, like, at all. It's just like some fucking funny scene watching some guy fumble. I just couldn't care.
I think the purpose of that scene was because, like, later on she gets a call where it's like, oh yeah, that guy was just like fucking lying to you or whatever, and that's meant to like illustrate to her that, like, oh yeah, people will just like really lie to get what they want and stuff like that. And that's why she ends up going back to the fucking car lot to talk to him again, because she's like, hey, I just really want to get clarification on this stuff. And then he runs away, and then she leads her to getting the fucking dudes caught.
I thought she went back there because she got more information about the fucking mechanic.
Dude, maybe. I don't know.
It's impossible. It's impossible to say. It's been a week.
Yeah,
I do like, she's probably my favorite character in the film, just because it's very much like she hides her intelligence. Like, she's clearly actually pretty capable at like investigating whatever, but she just she kind of like takes advantage of her own accent to like kind of get one over on people.
Yeah.
They do a good job of really explaining how good she does her job, just with that like almost very first scene when she's investigating the car scene, and just basically put together exactly what happened. And you immediately know that she's gonna fucking get their shit, and it's not even a question.
Yeah. Well, alrighty, boys. I'm going to be staying at an A+ for this one.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be sticking with my A.
Yeah, I'm staying at an A-, I would say, pending. Could see myself raising it in the future. Dillyn, unfortunately, did not have a choice. Hopefully he re-ranks it in the future. We'll see. It lands at a B currently.
By the way, hear Dillyn's thoughts if he records them.
That's so crazy.
He couldn't understand anything they were saying. That's why he ranked it so low.
Yeah, his whole criticism is that it was basically just me watching a British movie, except him watching a Wisconsin movie.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got Tanner's pick, which was the 2022 film Nope, a fantastic little Key and Peele movie, except only one of those two.
Which one?
The Peele.
Dude, you got it right. Nope is the story of some horse wranglers out in the desert, and then they find out there's an alien there taking their horses, and then they discover it's not an alien ship, it's a big animal in the shape of a ship. And they decide they want to get a picture of it to become rich and famous, and then it kills a bunch of people, and then they kill it. The end. Fun fact, this was the first horror movie ever shot on IMAX.
Oh.
This would be a cool one to watch on IMAX.
I agree. Right now I am sitting at an A.
I'm sitting at an A- personally.
Wow. Dillyn's also at an A, and I'm at a B personally.
Whoa.
Okay. Are you stupid or something, huh, buddy? Huh? You stupid, huh?
I just don't like black people.
You not get it, huh? Nico, what's the theme of this movie?
I mean, it could have multiple themes. Grief is a big one.
Dude, this guy's retarded. I don't think he got the movie.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I think this movie is pretty solid. I think it does a good job with its themes, like it alludes to. Sticking on to the past, I think, is a big one. There's a massive amount of connections between Jupe and his past, and then currently what he's doing with the fucking alien. It's a very similar connection to draw with like him putting on the show of like the fucking trauma show with the alien that he was doing with the monkey almost. There's a lot of connections with him and the alien and shit, and they try to draw lots of parallels to that situation. I would say just kicking it off immediately, and then we can go into more positives about this movie. I think my biggest flaw with this movie is just the ending. Not a fan of how it ends at all. Honestly, it kind of fucking spoiled it for me, because I was really into this movie until it turned daytime, and then it started losing me a bit. The whole setup for like their plan of, I guess, getting the alien was kind of fucking cheesy to me and unrealistic. Some of the, like with a lot of horror movies, I really just don't like when they have the monster like out in the open and up and close. I do think it's cool that it starts fucking flaunting and stuff and sees him as an actual threat, like it is, because it is just a big animal basically. But I don't know, it really just kind of like lost a lot of wind when I got to that point. I just didn't really care a crazy amount. I just wasn't into it when it turned into like an action movie more than like it felt like a very different movie than the first like 2/3, which I liked a lot.
Yeah, that was the biggest problem for me as well, and I think I just hold it against the film a lot more than you do, because that section lasts for a fucking long time, and I just do not like how much they're showing the alien at that point. It really takes the wind out of my sails.
Yeah, I get why they're doing it. Like, I realize I like the idea behind their plan. I wish they had more people in on it. Like, they have all of this work they could do. Also, they're trying to like make money off of it too, which leads more into like their themes. Like it's their folly, that their own hubris that's leading them down this path of stupidity basically. And the alien is being really aggro against them because it still has like a bit of a grudge against them fucking with it a couple of times with like the fake horse and things like that. So it's pissed off and it wants to fucking kill them specifically, as you know, shown in other scenes like when it's hovering over the house. And that's why it's like out and about and not trying to like hide itself as often it was previously, because it is trying to make a big show of it. But like I get all of that. It all makes sense to me. I just didn't really care that much about it. I wasn't a big fan of the spectacle of the situation personally.
Yeah, I'm definitely on the opposite side of you guys. I didn't have a problem with the ending. I think largely because it did like have like an internal logical consistency with the events of the film. I guess I have to ask, like, what do you, like, before you saw that, what did you imagine the ending was going to be like?
Also, I kind of considered a bad ending for this movie, where it's because, I don't know, there's like, even like, there's themes of like animal abuse and stuff with this movie with like the horse wrangling, you know, they're fucking selling off horses to this guy basically just to sacrifice the fucking situations with them. In the TV, obviously the parallels between the fucking monkey and him not being in that situation they should have been. And I really think the fucking monkey, whatever his name is supposed to be a parallel to the alien. And they're basically just recording exactly like their situation of trying to capture the alien is basically a very similar parallel to the fucking studio capturing like the monkey event. And I don't know, I feel like it kind of goes against what the movie's trying to say with like the anti like animal abuse almost perspective of it, because they just fucking kill the thing in a very similar way they do with, you know, the monkey. But so like that makes sense in that regard. But I don't know, I feel like they should have been trying to portray it like it's like a better approach, you know.
I disagree, just because I don't think the theme was like anti-animal abuse per se, but like
it's actually pro.
It's more so that like exploiting wild animals can horrifically backfire, and that's why you shouldn't do it.
And yet the main characters do that though, and they get away with it.
Sure, but wait, what? Yeah, well, I mean, they're not the ones doing it. Jupe is the one who's doing it, really, and he dies.
True, but they're also the ones trying to record it and capture it, like, you know, with the fucking movies, and they get away with it, is the implication I'm trying to say.
I can kind of see that. I think I disagree with you there. And plus, I mean, the monkey gets shot and killed too, so...
I know, I'm trying to say I wish it was that they were better than them. If anything, I feel like the best way is... Honestly, I don't really know exactly. That's why I was saying I wish the movie kind of had like a bad ending, because it shows that you shouldn't fall back into these, like the fucking pendulum of time type thing. Could have been interesting, where they basically just repeat the events of the past and they get punished for it.
I guess. My biggest attraction was, and this is relatively minor, I just felt like some of the dialogue fell into this hole where it's just like It felt too much like the characters are like winking and nodding at the audience, like, yeah, you're watching a movie right now.
No fucking idea what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I just mean like they're saying shit that no human being would ever say. But for the positives, I mean, I think it's a very well done movie. I think it's very creative, especially with like the alien design and how it is alien. Like, you're watching and you're like, I don't understand how the fuck this thing works.
Quick hypothetical, or maybe not hypothetical, but just like a thought experiment for you guys. Do you think it's actually an alien, or do you think it's legitimately some shit that's been on Earth? Because like it knows how to hide. It's like adapted to the environment. Is that because it's just really good at adapting to the environment? Or is it like a species that has been on Earth this entire time and it just hasn't been caught because like how would you?
That's an interesting question. I'd lean towards yes, it's an alien just because like it's just so wildly different from any other like earthly life form. And also, like, the name of the movie, Nope, is supposed to be an acronym for Not of Planet Earth.
Is that supposed to be, or is that just some people have theorized?
I don't know.
Okay.
They do talk about like the fucking UFO, it's not called that anymore type thing, so I assume it leans into that. But
Yeah, perhaps.
The alien design's fucking pretty sick. It's very novel in what it is. Especially because like at first you don't, like it actually takes a bit to like realize it is truly just some fucking animal flying around. And I think that's very cool, especially like when you put the pieces together, completely like flips the movie, like what it's trying to present in its head with a lot of the characteristics of the alien itself. My favorite scene, I think the big standout for this movie, and also what made me like, basically, this movie's kind of like a bell curve with me. I wasn't like crazy interested at the start, and then it got to like the cool ass fucking scenes, and then it kind of like tapered off at the end again. But that scene where he fucking eats all of the people at the show and then just fucking chews them up over the house, that shit was so fucking well shot and horrifying. They did such a good job of like the fucking terror that these people are experiencing, being stuck inside of like its esophagus or whatever the fuck it's supposed to represent, and then like cutting back into like the internals of the alien, and then just a shot of it over its fucking house, stopping all of the rain from hitting it while just showering blood on them is so fucking cool and such striking visual imagery. Honestly, this could have been, I don't know. If they just changed how they did the ending, I could have seen myself loving this movie, like high S tier.
Yeah,
because they had something magical going with that shit.
Yeah, also like the sound design over that section too, where like as it's flying overhead, it's like whatever happens to be inside it screaming.
Yeah. I do question though if like it's actually that, or if it's just like playing those noises like out of like a speaker almost kind of thing. I don't know. But yeah, the sound design of this movie is really good, specifically with the alien, like you had mentioned. It's very well done. Just from like a production standpoint, this movie is really well done. It's got great cinematography. It's a very consistently well shot movie overall.
Yeah.
I do comment on this a lot. I do think it's funny. We've got a black director with black main characters, and like the main dude is just like a fucking unlockable character throughout a lot of the movie, which kind of sucks. I mean, the technology's still not like fully there. You got to do some fancy color grading to make it work with people with darker skin complexions, but it's crazy how fucking like hard to see he was for a lot of it.
Did you know the whole movie was day for night?
Yeah, you could tell.
I was wondering if Jackson knew that.
I don't know what the fuck is day for night.
It means all of the nighttime scenes are shot at night, and then they color correct it to look, or they're shot during the day, and then they color correct to make it look like nighttime.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I didn't know that. And that's probably mostly because Nico and I, our viewing experience was pretty dog shit for a lot of the dark parts of the movie, unfortunately, because we were watching in our bright-ass living room, and we could barely see fucking anything. And we had to go and move over to Nico's room so we could actually watch in the dark and see what the fuck was going on.
Funny.
Like, I swear to God, like for the first like 45 minutes of the movie, I was just looking at my reflection more than the actual movie.
So speaking of the main character, why'd they name him OJ?
Funny.
I guess so.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it really is just like they wanted that one fucking bit or something.
I suppose so.
Dude, they name him OJ and his sister is Emerald, and then the whole time he's wearing orange and she's wearing green.
Holy shit.
It just makes sense, man. It just makes sense.
Yeah, I also think this movie is very well paced and is a pretty tight package. Like, I think it's like almost 2 hours and 20 minutes, and I feel like it flies by.
Except for the big action sequence near the end, in which case it feels like it comes to a fucking halt.
Dude.
Yeah, I certainly was just kind of waiting for that shit to end when it got to that point. But for everything prior to that, I was a big fan. I will say, for some reason, I totally had a much more negative perception of this movie going into it than for some reason. Maybe it was another random, like, desert shot horror movie with aliens that I'm conflating it with. I'm not entirely sure.
That could be anything.
Yeah, for some, that's not a very generic or very novel, I guess, setting. But, yeah, for some reason I thought this movie was, like, much more, like, not hated, but, like, looked down upon than it actually was. But, yeah, no, this is a pretty well-enjoyed movie from most people. And I'm definitely excited to watch more of this guy's movies, because I've heard this isn't even, like, the best one.
Yeah, I think it's definitely the least talked about of his films, which is kind of intentional. Like, he's on the record saying, like, yeah, I just kind of wanted to make a blockbuster to get people back in the theaters after COVID.
Good for him.
Fuck, what was I gonna say?
Did you guys like how the monkey didn't kill the boy because the boy didn't look into its eyes?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Dude, that's symbolism, and that's the whole reason why he thought he was special, and why he could tame the beast.
Oh, yeah.
Did you like how his cowboy suit had, like, a UFO on the back?
That was pretty cool. Do you guys think that he was motivated by profit at all?
Nah, I'd say he was mostly in it for the fame.
Yeah, I agree. For the third time, what do you guys think of the value of the scenes with our guy, Jupe? Because, like, obviously, a lot of it is there to position the parallels between him and, like, what the alien's doing, and add some more insight from a different perspective than our main characters. But, what do you guys think about that whole plot line in general, I guess? Because it takes up a large part of the movie.
I think, since this is a horror movie, and they probably couldn't justify the alien constantly doing shit, that having those scenes in there to add that bit of, oh, fuck, that monkey fucking killed those people, kind of helps it maintain that scary tone throughout.
Fair enough. I did think that scene where Jupe's under the desk, or whatever the fuck it was, when the monkey's in the room just, like, beating that woman to death, and then chasing down the dude that was on the stairs on the set. Very well done. Very tense feeling. Personally, I don't have an issue with, like, the Jupe stuff. I've seen criticisms of it before, that it kind of, like, takes away some of the pacing, I guess, of the movie, but I don't really care.
I don't like how much Jupe sounds like a slur.
Also true.
I understand where you're coming from there. Pretty solid movie overall, though.
Unless Dillyn had some other thoughts. He didn't.
He gave an A, so I'd assume he has a lot nice to say about it. Well, maybe not a lot, but nice things to say about it.
Yeah.
Probably something along the lines of, yeah, it was a good movie.
Dude, my girlfriend and I were both hitting on Keke Palmer during this movie.
Holy smokes.
I think she's okay.
You would.
I would, you're right. Anyways, that landed at an A- overall.
Nice.
The same rank as Fargo. They're very similar movies.
I thought you said Fargo was like a fucking B.
Did I?
Yeah.
Well, it's an A-, so I don't know why. If I said B, then I don't know why. Oh, yeah, you're right. I totally did say some shit like fucking B-. I don't know why. I genuinely, I don't know why.
Dillyn's rank had a lot of weight.
Yeah, I didn't really think about it. I was like, man, I get that's crazy.
It had a lot of weight, and then suddenly didn't have weight. I genuinely don't know what fucking changed in this time span to make it. Well, it's an A-. I don't know what the fuck happened.
Interesting. Okay.
I can't explain it. I'll edit that in post.
And speaking of A- tier films,
yeah, it's your movie. I thought you were going to try to transition yourself there. It's the 2024 film Heretic, as requested by Nico.
dude, why the fuck would I take your job? I'm not about that life.
You've done it so many times. What do you mean?
Dude, Heretic is a film about two cute little Mormons who decide to go and chat up this one dude to try and convert him, but they are in it for a little more than they bargained for. This guy's done the research. Mr. Reed has read more than they have, and he puts them through some trials and tribulations, the likes of which they were not prepared for, as they go into his little dungeon and get fucking murdered.
Dude, fun fact. The directors spent 10 years developing this film, and they say primarily due to meticulous theological research.
Okay.
What are the odds we got 2 movies this week with dual directors?
Very. Oh. Happens all the time. What's the odds that we get 3 movies that land in A tier this week? Because personally, I'm sitting at an A, and Dillyn is as well.
And I'm sitting at an A-.
I'm sitting at a B.
I had a feeling. You stupid piece of shit. So Tanner, what's your major malfunction here, dude? What's your problem with this film?
So, obviously, fantastic acting, especially Hugh Grant. He's fucking astounding in this.
Phenomenal.
The writing is very good, and all of the technical stuff is really good. Like, it's just a very well-made movie. And my problem is purely...
It's an A24 film. It's fucking peak slop.
And my problem is purely just with the ending, and I just feel like the story itself, like the actual plot, fucking face plants. Because
I'm with ya. I think the ending is definitely my least favorite part of it as well.
Yeah. And the main thing is just like they're setting it up where he actually is bringing up some like lesser known theological arguments, and they're actually kind of going back and forth. And so I feel like it's setting it up to actually have something interesting or insightful to say about religion. And then, like, in the last 15 minutes, he just goes, and that's when I discovered religion is about control. Which is, like, literally the most basic bitch fucking, like, high school student level, like, theology argument. It's so basic and boring and just completely eliminates any goodwill that the earlier portion of the movie had built up, and thinking that like the writers were like approaching this with any level of intelligence or insight. Like it really bums me out that much. And then it just devolves from there to just them like stabbing each other and whatever. It's no longer this like actual cat and mouse game. They're just like actually in combat. It just really disappointed me with that ending, both on like a theming and story level, and then also on like it just evolves into this fucking like bullshit that it was not for the rest of the film.
Yeah, while watching this film, like at the beginning, it was phenomenal. I couldn't believe it. I was like, holy shit, this is like so good. Like with each scene, it was just building up more and more tension. The acting was impeccable. The ideas that they were like throwing back and forth here were really cool. And then once they go into the basement, I'm like, damn, this is just a horror movie now. And things just fell off so hard for me. Like prior to that, I was thinking, could this film actually make it into the S tier? That'd be fucking crazy. And then as the film progressed, it was just like, oh, there goes a rank. There goes a rank. Damn, there goes another rank.
Dude, I was still with it all the way up until they were in the room with the cages, and he does just say, oh, the true religion is control. That line alone, I'm like, fuck, my rank just plummeted, dude.
Personally, I definitely started much more of like with Nico there. I wasn't as big of a fall off, I would say, as Nico, and I don't have nearly as big of an issue with like the control scheme. Personally, I think it's fine. Also, I feel like a lot of times when somebody studies something super deeply, they do come to a very simplistic answer with something like, oh yeah, a lot of this shit is very overcomplicated in the end. And I think it fits well with what he's trying to describe. So I'm not really opposed to it. Mostly, I'm kind of with Tanner on like the fucking like knife fight thing. I just think the ending's kind of stupid. I get where he's going. Like he realizes that his shtick isn't gonna fucking work on her like he did with all the other people that came in that he has locked in the fucking cages. So he just wants to fucking kill her and just like move on to the next people basically, because it's not gonna work. And yeah, I don't know. I think it just lost a lot of steam once it started turning into like them running away. There's some believability issues of like why the fucking girl was brought back to life. I realized the theming of her maybe being brought back by like a miracle or something, or whatever you could want to look at, to kill the guy and save her friend. But then she got stabbed in the fucking stomach and is like climbing a fucking ladder and running all over the house and solving puzzles to get out and shit. But not bleeding to death like you'd expect her to be doing.
Well, potentially, you could see the movies ending, like, one of two ways. Either, like, everything did play out exactly as we saw it, or that was all just, like, in her head as she was dying.
I don't feel like she was dying. I saw the perspective as well, and I don't fucking buy it, because...
I don't either.
They just portray it very straight. Like, it doesn't give you any sort of... They don't change the way they're, like, portraying the cinematography or anything. Outside of, like, once she gets outside, it does feel a little dreamlike. So I could see an argument made about that. But inside, like, they don't do any psychological tricks or anything. It's just, like, more of the same until she gets outside the house. So I don't buy.
And also, even if that was the case, then I also wouldn't like that ending either.
Yeah, I don't like that they just both fucking die. I definitely wish that one of them got out. But yeah, I do like the very, very end where they have the butterfly land on her finger.
Yeah.
Big fan of that. I think that's a poignant way of ending the movie, because it just goes back to the talk of like, oh yeah, if I was a butterfly, I'd want to land in your finger to make you know exactly that I exist, and then it disappears. Big fan of that. I think it's cool. I think it finally, just trying to portray that the girl is finally maybe questioning her faith a little bit and like thinking more deeply about it, because it goes back into the characterization of her where she is much more focused with her religion, whereas the other girl is already kind of questioning things and experimenting, aka that's why she's got the birth control, because obviously she's not following her like no sex policies before marriage and shit. She's breaking some rules, whereas the other girl is much more not caring. She's very just like by the books with things. The other girl's questioning it, portrays that. The fucking main villain, he does a very good job as the villain. Big fan of his performance, but the girls do a really good job as well. Their acting is great, and I think they're very well-made characters.
Yeah, I do like the dynamic with the girls, where you have the one that is way more like, I don't know, buttoned up and pure, but ironically like less sure of her faith, and then the other one that has birth control and whatever, but she's like way more settled on this stuff is real and I actually believe it.
Yeah, and she's like willing to push back against the stuff that Hugh Grant is saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It all just goes back to like just questioning. This isn't even like explicitly just an anti-religion movie or whatever you want to look at it, but it's really just about like questioning things you believe in general. And that's the big difference between the two main girls, is that the Hugh Barnes, whatever, she was much more open to questioning things she knows about. That's why she had more interesting answers to some of his questions at first, where the other girl is kind of just like reciting the Bible, things like that. And that's when the character switch happens after Barnes died, and she has to like start actually taking things at face value and maybe thinking a little bit for herself, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ultimately, in addition to all this stuff I said, like one of my other problems is like I may need to raise the rank up later, just because like part of it is very much just my expectations maybe being a bit high, and not high because of like going into the movie, but like them being built up too high by the movie, just because like I was really hoping it was going to have something interesting to say, just because like I don't know about you guys, none of the information that was presented in this movie about religion is stuff I haven't heard before.
Yeah. I think it's mostly just about watching the evolution of these characters rather than just like the philosophy of the main character or the main antagonist itself. Like, I feel like you're supposed to take away the lessons that the main girl learned about just like challenging the things she currently thinks, rather than understanding what the main guy is trying to describe.
I guess.
Because at the end of the day, he is some fucking weirdo serial killer that locks people in his fucking basement.
Yeah, and then also the other problem is like, just from like, if you're gonna take that perspective, the other problem I take is just like, Mormons are easy prey if you're like this psychopath trying to destroy people's religious beliefs, you know?
That's what he's trying to do, though, right? He's just going after fucking easy targets, easily manipulated people, and that's why he kills Barnes, because she's like a threat to what he's trying to do, and he thinks that...
You know what would happen if I were in this scenario?
You would fucking strangle him.
Yeah, exactly. The second he pulls me into the other room with the double exits, I would immediately go, okay, you've already done enough to catch a kidnapping charge. You're clearly not stupid, so you probably don't want to go to jail, which means whatever is down that door is probably supposed to kill me. So I'm just gonna attack you now.
That's when he pulls out a gun. Which door, Tanner? Which door?
And then I'd say, if my god is real, that gun won't fire, and then we'll try our luck.
Just pray for a misfire.
Yeah.
Well, boys, do we have anything else to say about this film? Or even does Dillyn? Wow, he did have a decent bit to say. What a sweet young boy he is. How about the rest of us, though?
Nah, I think I'm good. I've made my objections known.
Yeah, it's a very well-made movie. It's an A24 film. They're all well-made. I think it has a poignant message. I don't think it lands super well for me, but I do think it's a very good movie overall. I wish it didn't have that one scene of him pulling out the birth control. That shit fucked me up. I could not look at my screen. That was him pulling out her fucking vein.
Yeah, I had to look away from the screen during that part.
That was so fucking bad, man. I've seen some fucked up shit, and that made me uncomfortable.
Yeah, like I remember a scene from like Always Sunny that's similar to that, and like even for that I had to look away. Like that, I couldn't handle it. But I'm sticking at an A-.
Yeah, I'm sticking at an A. I like this movie quite a bit.
I'm gonna stick with my B.
This was a really solid fucking week, boys.
Yeah.
I agree.
Wait, was that also A-, Jackson?
Yeah, 3 A-.
Holy cow.
Oh, damn.
This is probably one of our highest ranking weeks in a long ass time.
Yeah, more than likely.
I don't know if we've ever actually had... We probably have, but it's been a while since we've had a week where we've had 3 A's or higher in one session.
Yeah.
I cannot remember the last time that happened. We watched so much slop.
And speaking of slop, Dillyn picked Wild Wild West for his film. Jackson, are you familiar with this movie?
No, should I be?
Oh boy. I can't wait for you to watch it.
I'm assuming it's really fucking bad.
Oh, you know. What are you picking?
Well, per usual, you guys have the option of either an animated or a live action movie this week.
Oh,
Dillyn has already picked animated, so you guys have to both pick live action for it to be the live action one.
I'll pick live action.
Whoa. Dude, Jackson, which one is the bad one?
Dude, why would I tell you that? That defeats the whole point of this.
Oh. We've just gotten so many of your bad ones.
Yeah, we've like never gotten the good one.
You've gotten what? It's been... You're fucking 3-2 right now or something? I can't remember the exact tally, but I don't think you guys are that far off. You guys need to fucking have better luck or something. I don't know.
I think Jackson has far fewer bad animated movies in the tank, so most of them are going to be live action.
I mean, you think I had fucking Wrong Turn on my list? Most of these I'm pulling out of my ass. Like, I basically, I pick a good movie from either side, and then I just randomly try to find some really bad other one.
His animated one this week's gonna be like Ratatouille.
It's gonna be that fucking knockoff Titanic movie that JonTron reviewed.
Yeah, literally, it's just some fucking random bullshit I find.
Let's do live action.
Unfortunately, you guys got it wrong again.
God damn it.
I wanted the bad one.
We are, in fact, watching the 1994 film It's Pat.
Huh?
Okay.
This is a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, I'm pretty sure. It is,
my God.
It's an SNL. It's like an SNL movie. It's like the worst one they've ever made.
Oh.
And for our Patreon pick, we got Dinosaur, requested by Mr. T. We just got nothing but fucking slop this week. Jesus Christ.
This is a terrible fucking week.
We're gonna follow up our all A's week with an all D's week.
Yeah. Perfectly balanced as all things should be. And if you too would like to request a film, you can do so by heading on over to guapish.com/Patreon or patreon.com/Guapish, where you get access to early episodes as well as the pre-Guap, which is our little pre-show we do. Discord access so you can chat with us, request movies and topics. You even get 500 slime coins, and of course, you also get your name read out, just like I'm going to do right now. Thank you very much to GH, Slade by J, Blake, Netagant, I Love Lesbians, Toperman Man, Come Guzzling Cum Guzzler, Tutbot, Lucas Ledette, Hunter, and Jacob Edwards. Thank you very much, folks. Thank you very much. And please feel free to remember to like, comment, subscribe, ring-a-ding that bell, and we'll be seeing you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.